Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new episode of the Somali Circle Podcast. Today I'm joined by Zahra Hassan, the founder of Latifa Naturals. Zahra, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Inshallah, during the podcast, we would love to delve in more about your story, how Latifa Naturals started, the origin, your experience as an entrepreneur, and motivate and inspire, inshallah, the listeners of this podcast, inshallah. Let's delve in. Let's start by the beginning. Tell me more about you, Zahra.
So my name is Zahra Hassan, as you said, and I was born and raised in Kenya, and I moved to the UK February 2023. So professionally, I'm an analytical chemist and a skincare formulator, and the founder of Latifa Naturals, which is an organic baby skincare product that was inspired by my late daughter Latifa, who battled leukemia and passed away in September 2023.
Zahra Hassan. So the origin of the story of Latifa Naturals, your daughter became sick, and that's where it started, the idea of...
Yeah, so basically, I was, my daughter Latifa was a normal child, Allahumma barik, just running around, very healthy. And at 2 years, all of a sudden, she couldn't walk. She had a temperature for over 6 weeks, up to 8 weeks actually. So we started looking for solution for her in hospitals, especially in Kenya. And it was very hard. I even had a moment, I remember a doctor telling me that she will die because I refused the doctor to do a CT scan for her because he already misdiagnosed her and gave her the medication of meningitis. So I said, she'll rather, if her time is up, but not in this hospital. That's how much I had kind of really struggled finding a treatment for her, especially when a child, you don't know what's wrong. And you know as a mother, something is not right, but the doctors and everybody says you're like a crazy mother looking for a solution for your daughter. So I went to Thailand to seek further treatment, and we were there for 6 months. That's where she was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. And we stayed there for 6 months, and she got the treatment, and she was on remission, alhamdulillah. Remission is in the sense of the cancer has been treated, but there's a high chance it might come back. So we moved, when we completed the treatment and she was on remission, we went back to Kenya. And that's when my husband started doing the process for getting a visa for me to the UK. I arrived to the UK February 2023, and 12 days later, my daughter relapsed. Relapsed means the cancer came back. And since then, we've been in hospital from February till September, Allah yarhamha. So while in hospital with her all these years, being with her when she was ill, going through a lot of chemotherapy cycles and bone marrow transplant, there's a lot of things. There's one thing that I noted was the happiness she was feeling whenever I apply for her products on her skin. She absolutely loved all the natural creams I was formulating for her. Because I'm a skincare formulator, I was very cautious on what I was going to apply on her skin. I was very cautious because already she's going through a lot in terms of medications and everything that she's taking and all the side effects. So her skin was peeling, her skin was severely dry, her nappy area was bruised and burned, like everything. But with all the natural creams I was applying for her, they were really helping her. And even the doctors were the ones actually noting and telling me, what are you applying for your daughter? And I used to say, especially in Thailand, I used to say, oh, African botanicals. That's all I used to say, African botanicals. So it happened at one time while I was in Thailand that the product finished because I was coming from Kenya, I carried a lot. And it finished, and she was in ICU at that time. And the doctors now, I asked the hospital, please, could you help me with creams to apply for her because she was getting severely dry and peeling and all those side effects, especially being in a hospital in ICU. It was even extremely difficult. So they gave me creams, almost 3 types, and her skin was getting worse and worse. Until my husband said, because he was with me at that point, and my husband said, please, could you send over your creams that you are making? Because that is the only thing that was helping. And even the doctors were saying, please, now we need those creams because her skin is getting worse. She was very uncomfortable even having a nappy because there's something called mucositis that really affects from the mouth to the nappy area and all that. It gets worse. So immediately I applied the creams because I had to ship it in very fast. Everything cleared, alhamdulillah. So in UK now, back in hospital, she was always enjoying that little session with her products and everything. She used to say, even, Mommy, I'm going to be working with you when we're making these products and all that. So beside all that, there was something that I noted in hospitals that I didn't see it, especially in Kenya, is how important it is to have a play area, to have some toys for a child to make them happy, because they're in so much pain. But having those little things, like having a nurse that will tell Latifa, if you take this medicine, I'm gonna gift you something. So we used to get several kind of charity gifts and toys for her to kind of motivate her to take her medications, to kind of motivate her to even eat, to kind of motivate her to do a lot, even move around the room, which was very difficult. So it reached a point that we were now, what is it called? Break.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so let me come back there. So because of all those, the toys and everything that made her happy, my goal was every single time I'm thinking, how can I make more children really happy and smile and just do something that will create her memory alive? And the first thing I did was create a charity, which is Friends of Latifa Foundation. I created the charity. We already did 2 projects. So what happened is, with those products, what we created was creating care packages for children with cancer. So we had the natural creams in those packages so that we could help the mothers that were in hospital already battling with their children with dry skin and everything. Wow. The mothers absolutely loved it.
So beautiful. Yeah.
So that's what inspired for us to create Latifa Naturals, because we wanted to spread the smile, spread natural solutions to moms who are battling sensitive skin, eczema, dry skin, itchy skin. So that is the reason we launched Latifa Naturals.
Yeah. I'm just getting all this information, mashallah, like the story in itself, where it started, and helping the why in this case is so powerful. Yeah. I'll be honest.
You actually feel the love that you have. It's the worst thing that you can go through as a parent, right?
Absolutely.
And I think we just met today, and you already the fire and the light still in your eyes. You're trying to. You actually have like some kind of purpose, mission, and it's actually. I think we are very talkative normally, but we are like just quiet of the one of your love for your child and how you make sure that it lives on and that it helps other mothers.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So before we continue on that story, this is the first time we are interviewing someone who grew up in Kenya, for example. How was life in your early childhood? How was growing up in Kenya?
Wow. To be honest, Kenya is an absolutely amazing place. There's a lot of community, and that's the difference I kind of noted when I came here.
Yeah.
I grew up in an extended home, which is a very normal thing among our culture, Somali culture. Can never be just, nuclear family, mom, dad, and the children. No, we were always extended. We always had people coming around. We had support system. that we were taking for granted. And you only realize you take it for granted when you come to these parts of the world.
Yeah, when you don't have it anymore.
When you don't have anybody, when you're running around with school children and running around with a lot of appointments, like you just by yourself, you start have to call my husband when they're coming back home so that I do ABCD. So there's a lot of communal kind of parents, mothers coming together, children coming together, cousins and everything. So the support system is absolutely amazing. Growing up in Kenya, honestly, was beyond amazing, I can say.
Yeah, and then you studied there.
Yep.
Yeah, you did amazing, and now you are in UK.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, like, how is that different? Is it harder to build your business here? Because obviously you were already established before you came here. How's that journey been? Obviously, it's a little bit difficult, but
Absolutely. The journey will be extremely difficult here, especially as a cosmetic formulator that you're trying to formulate at home, being a mother, taking care of your children and doing all of that, and at the same time trying to establish a business whereby in 2025 you have to record a video, TikToks and everything. There's a lot you're trying to manage, and building a founder-led brand in 2025 is all about sharing your story, coming out and creating videos on TikTok. Like it's very, very hard. Whereby back home, I could just go to a videographer and just have my plans and record and have a photographer. There's a lot of, it's very easier back home compared to here right now. But here I also love it in the sense that there's a lot of self-awareness. Like right now, I'm relearning a lot of things that I had not learned back then. And again, the support system is totally different and much better again here. It all depends on how you as a person create your community around you. And again, our parents to us, they always say, or anybody that comes around, so those are the things, and you're like, okay, wow, I have an amazing neighborhood. I have amazing friends around here because I live in an area, there's no single Somali, but I have amazing community around me. Yeah.
And obviously, like starting your career back home, there's a lot of skills that goes into creating a skill, as in creating a skincare product. How did that process go? Because you studied for that. Could you explain more about that?
Yeah, so when I finished actually high school, I loved the subject chemistry, always loved chemistry. So I studied analytical chemistry as my bachelor's, and that's how much I loved chemistry. But I didn't practice it. Immediately, as a Somali culture, I ended up working in a family business, my grandfather's business. That's where I was working as a principal officer in a forex bureau and all that. And I got married, and then I gave birth to my third child. I was giving birth to my third child. I said, no, I'm not going to sit around in the house. I need to do something. I need to, what is it called? Just get out of the house and do something for my life. And I went and did another bachelor's, which is a Bachelor of Economics and Finance. I just honestly wanted something just to kind of make me busy at that time. And it is at that point that I'm studying one of the units, entrepreneurship, that it hit me, oh, I can start a business. And since then, I've been formulating for over 10 years. I've been in a business for over 10 years. And I thought that's why I was creating the natural creams for my daughter, because I was always passionate about our natural solutions and our Somali ancient best kept secrets. We have a lot of them that is not even talked about, that are doing powerful solutions for mothers out there. So now I thought I really need to create a natural solutions for babies as well. And that's why I came up with Latifa Naturals.
Amazing story. Like, it's also very quite inspiring, because if you see, like, within the Somali culture, there's a lot of Somali sisters that are doing amazing stuff. There's a lot of mothers that are also at the brink of, like, I want to start my own thing.
Absolutely.
What would you tell those people that are have a family, but have the urge, like, I need to do my own thing? And what are the steps to get out of your house, what you did, and start something for yourself?
If there's one thing I'll say, a lot of mothers or a lot of entrepreneurs are willing to help, but if you only ask for help. So I'll really urge a lot of mothers who are stuck, please make a call. Don't feel shy of asking for help. Don't feel shy, because for me, I was helped by a lot of people that I didn't know. Whenever I was stuck in any phase of my entrepreneurship journey, I had that one person I can call and I'll be helped instantly. So it's always, don't be shy of asking for help. And there's no issue that is big. If an issue is very big to you right now, it might be very minimal to somebody else. So just make that call, ask for help, and it's doable. If there's one thing I'm passionate about, is helping a lot of Somali mothers. That's one thing I've always been passionate about. If a mother calls me asking me for any help, especially in terms of entrepreneurship and even cosmetic formulations, there's a lot of mothers who are stuck and they're like, I don't know how to do this. How can I study this? How can I do that? I help them out. It's something I was passionate about because personally, I was helped by a community. I was raised by a community. So it's all about building that community.
Yeah, I love that the community aspect comes back in most of our conversations, and here stronger because you actually grew up within those communities.
Absolutely.
I love the concept of the extended home. I grew up in that one too, in Golala. Literally everyone was there.
Absolutely.
And that helps shape you, in a very good way. You were talking about that we have like a lot of ancient, solutions that most people forgot or we don't use anymore, but that's very beneficial. Can you name like one that you think like, hey, we have to do more of that with that?
We have several of them, and if you see Korean beauty, they're talking about green tea extract, they're talking about, and you see brands created out of green tea. There's a whole brand that is created because they're adding value to that. There's a lot of Somali ancient kept secrets that are also not talked about, and people are creating values and really creating values with those ingredients. So there's qasil, there's also frankincense, there's also sweet myrrh, there's a lot. And again, back in Africa, especially in Kenya, we have baobab oil, something that is also very important on our skin. We have a lot of African amazing ingredients that we really need to tap into it and talk more about them because they're really helping.
Yeah, and you name them actually like Somali is the origin from there, because then we didn't market it for us because I was talking with Afshir and you told him this from the Somali Circle about the Frankenstein and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But other ethnicities branded better, so it seems like it's something they have or they do. So that's also very important that people like you create brands around it and talk about it and like document your journey so other people can do the same.
Absolutely.
So what's your next thing? So what are you building on towards the future now?
So as at now, we have just launched actually Latifa Naturals a month ago. So we're in the starting phase right now. We're going to, inshallah, be hoping for us to be in organic because it's an organic baby skincare brand. So to be in organic baby care stores and to be in amazing retail stores, inshallah, and hopefully grow from there. And honestly, my dream is to be having the products in a lot of moms who are really looking for the solutions for their children.
Amazing.
Yeah. And also have a lot of projects for Friends of Latifa Foundation because we're not just selling Latifa Naturals as products, but most of those products are helping mothers and their children in hospital at the moment.
Wow.
And on the Friends of Latifa, how can people that are listening now also help and contribute when it comes to that foundation?
So there's a different ways to support Friends of Latifa Foundation. One in the sense of providing packages of toys that are very clean, not because there's a lot of important ways to handle kind of gifts with the children and cancer, food stuff. There's a there's a lot of ways. So they can send us a message. I can guide them on how to support us. There's a page already on Instagram, Friends of Latifa Foundation. They can send us if they're interested, and we'll guide them on how to support. Because there's a lot of measures that we have to take before
Understandable.
we just,
I
yeah.
just want to make sure that the people are listening and are
Absolutely.
interested in the foundation, because the story
Absolutely.
you've been sharing, like, is very impactful. So I want them to also know how can they
Absolutely.
help when
No,
it comes to
we'll absolutely. We've done 3 projects so far, and if there's one thing, the children in the hospital, they say it is nobody remembered them before us. When we took the products and we took the gift to them, because we take huge gifts when we're going to them, and we know how important it was, because I've seen it in my daughter. It's not just something that I'm just taking. I was taking the most important things, because I know how a mother will be relieved to see her child smiling at that point that the child is going through medications and pain and everything.
Wow, that's so impactful. And how do you, obviously it's not the first time you are going to do this entrepreneurial or this project or this business. What are lessons you learned that you would love to tell Somali moms? Obviously you mentioned the community, but are there any lessons that you learned, like, okay, I made that mistake, or if I always do this when I start a brand?
Okay. In terms of advice that I'll give to, advice, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So advice that I'll give to a Somali mother is build your own income. It's very important to have your own income, you can be self-employed. At the same time, you can raise your children. The children really get inspired seeing a Somali mother. And actually, we've been raised by our generations, seeing a Somali mothers really working hard. And so if you're stuck anywhere, again, I'll come back to please seek help. Please seek assistance. There's a lot of kind of a taboo in our culture of fearing to ask for help and feeling like you're kind of down. But there's nothing that is silly. There's nothing that is, what is it called, that is not has been said before, have been talked before. So whenever you're feeling stuck, if you're having an idea, look for mentors, look for amazing coaches, just talk it out, seek help, and start your business. You can start it. You can start messy, you can start crazy, but at least start, and you can do it.
That's a profound lesson, in the sense of a lot of entrepreneurs we speak to. They always say, like, start, like that.
Yeah.
A lot of entrepreneurs that are very successful, that's like the point they always come up with, their start.
Absolutely.
And the skincare journey in itself. As me and Guled, obviously we're not in the market, and we don't know exactly every wheel in the skincare process.
Yeah.
We can only imagine how much research, how much time, how much effort goes into that process.
Absolutely.
When coming up with the idea, testing it, validating, and then the next, like, could you go through that process so that we can understand, for the listeners also, how that goes?
So there are different kind of procedures that happens when you're, especially now in UK, because I have an experience right now in the UK, the products I'm selling have been tested and certified to be sold in the UK. And UK is one of the strict countries when you're selling skincare or cosmetics, leave alone natural or organic skincare. It's even much, much strict. So there's a lot of processes that goes through in skincare formulation. So there's stability test that is very important. How stable is your product? It's very important to do pathological test as well. There's a lot of tests that goes through until the product is finally ready to sell. There's what is it called? The pH that really is important for testing as well. So there's a lot of things that happens in formulations that really need testing before bringing it to the market. And if there's one thing, is the cosmetic labs here are very strict as well. So I've tested my products here, and alhamdulillah, they all passed. Yeah.
So once you passed, the certificate, what happens then?
So again, let me come back to before.
There is
back.
before like testing.
Mhm.
What happens there before that? Before you go to labs, what do you do?
Before going to, oh yes, so there's a lot of research.
Yeah, how does that go?
So you have to research the ingredients that you're planning to use. You have to research as simple as even the emulsifiers that you're going to use, the preservatives, and especially being an organic skincare formulator, you want organic baby care products that you want to come out with, or organic skincare. There's even the preservatives that you're planning to use, because some of them don't even work, some of them don't become stable. And I was really avoiding of using any synthetic preservatives or synthetic emulsifiers on anything, or parabens or sulfates, because they are endocrine disruptors, and whereby it means that they go to your skin. So those are the things we're really trying to avoid on our skin, on our products, and even fragrance. We have avoided all of that from our products because we really want as organic as possible. So there's a lot of research that goes through into these products. How are they blending? How are they merging? A skincare formulator and a chemist as well. So I understand how both properties kind of come together. So it took me a whole year. So immediately my daughter passed away, I just went to the kitchen and started having some ingredients. I started ordering a lot of ingredients and formulation stuff, and I started getting to the kitchen, and it was a way of healing for me, because that's something I was passionate about. And I thought, okay, how can I bring a smile, because my daughter was full of smiles. How can I bring smiles to a lot of other mothers who are looking for a natural solution for their babies?
And then, very interesting in the sense of you doing your own research, doing creating it in your own kitchen. Was that process, like from that start to going out into the labs and testing it, well, do you do it alone, or do you have a team working with you on that end? Because I can only imagine that how much time and effort goes into this.
Oh, there's a lot of cries as well that goes into it.
Yes, definitely.
There's a lot of formulations that you'll do and they fail. So it's only if you understand that the chemistry part of it, and that you know the product has failed, because you don't want to be taking the products to the lab every single time and spend a lot of money and the products come back failing. So you'll just have to see yourself doing all of these things and understanding the products, if they're failing or not. So I did a lot of tests before I even took them to the lab. I did a lot of tests in the house. Of course, a lot of failing.
How do you deal with that? Like, I can only imagine, like, hours of research and testing.
Absolutely.
How do you deal with failing? What's your mechanism when you feel, okay, I think this is going to work, but it doesn't work?
I absolutely love it when it fails. Because I have learned a lot about that product that either failed or the ingredient that made it fail. I'm learning more about it. If it's assuming right now, it's a preservative probably that made it fail. Okay, so this preservative, learn more about it. What not to mix with, or what to mix it with. So it's a lot of learning and relearning that happens when a product fails. And I would rather it fails in my hands than it fails in a mother's hands right now, or in a product on a baby. So that's why I prefer all those things happening in front of my eyes and seeing all that. And it's not something that a lot of chemists or out there big companies talk about. There's a lot of failing that happens behind the scenes.
Definitely, like, it's your perspective on failing is very inspiring to see.
Oh, thank you.
I really mean that, because that's also a big hurdle when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You can have high peaks, but how do you deal with that low lows?
Absolutely.
And your optimism, it shines through. Like, being so optimistic.
Yeah, it's almost like a play. It's not like work and heavy.
No,
it's like just I'm
optimistic.
playing along. I'm like,
testing, I'm feeling, and
Yep.
that's very, very inspiring to see, Runtian.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
much.
you. And as a mother, I have my children, so I'm applying the products on them again. They are my testing. So I kept applying the products, saying, because I have my daughter is very, she has a sensitive skin. So anything that touches on her body just gets rashes and everything. So she's the first person I'm like, Kale, let me apply the products.
Let me test it.
Let me shower you with this one. Let me see you this one if you're going to react. So Alhamdulillah.
It's good to see, like, the process going through that.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then once you pass that test, your supply chain, how does that look? Because I don't think that you make everything in the kitchen. Tell me more about that. side of the business?
I bake it in the kitchen.
Okay. No,
By
guys.
myself.
So I learned something new today.
Yep, inshallah. So of course, if we scale up, we'll definitely move
Inshallah.
out
Yeah.
of the kitchen of the house and have a proper facility and all that. Because we just launched recently,
Okay,
a month ago,
understandable.
so there's no way I can start renting out.
Now understandable, like because I'm also linking that obviously to
Absolutely.
the other businesses on the end,
Absolutely.
because your experience
I'm a
is
startup right now.
yeah, you're a startup right
absolutely.
now, but with your years of experience,
Absolutely.
what do you do then when that phase is completed?
So for me personally, it is empowering a lot of, again, mothers who are looking for something to do behind the scenes, or even our young girls or Somali young girls who just finished school, who are really looking to be empowered. I have, again, my support system at home. Kids will tell you, okay, mom, can I label for you? Can I do this for you? So those are the things they really look forward to, and it really inspires them. My son absolutely loves skincare. He's 14 right now, and you'll see him looking for products just in the house, like, can I apply this, mom? And he will even look for approval before he applies. So there's a lot of things that the children around you are really learning, and this is where it can be their path tomorrow. They even say, I'm going to be running the business just 10 years from now or something. So there's a lot of empowerment that really goes on at home before sending the products out there. So you manufacture the products. I manufacture them at home from scratch. So I formulate the products at home from scratch, and then bottle them, package them, label them, and ship them from the house.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
It's also like a lot of startups, like when you're starting out, when you have a clothing brand, you have your own perfume line or anything, when it comes to starting out, you start very
home.
small.
Absolutely.
But once you hit a certain level, because you already done that, what do you do next?
So definitely it's having a bigger facility, moving out of the house, having a bigger facility, and again having different kind of teams that will help you in terms of formulations and in terms of packaging, in terms of labeling, having different kind of machinery. So there's a lot that happens now in terms of scaling.
Yeah. MashaAllah. Really inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the one thing I like is that you are actually in love with the process, because sometimes if you're already established business and you have to start again, it could be hard. It could be you had this big thing, your ego plays along, and it's, I think you're an absolute inspiration to see like how you go about it and how you think like, hey, we are going, and that your children witness you
exactly
doing the thing, loving the thing, playing along with the thing. I think that's like,
yes, really,
absolutely,
it's amazing.
Absolutely.
MashaAllah.
Thank you.
Really, truly. Now looking ahead, I think we already touched on that point a little bit. When it comes to Latifa Naturals, what are your next steps? Inshallah. And let's break it up into two parts. Your short-term plans, inshallah, and also like your long-term plans.
Okay. So inshallah, my short term is definitely manufacturing in bulk and selling to wholesale market, people who are looking for, again, as I was saying, who have organic baby care stores, or kind of who are having natural kind of, there's a lot of stores that are very organic and everything. So putting these products in the hands of really the mothers who are just really shopping around, looking for organic solutions. And again, the bigger goal, of course, it's in retail stores, being in retail stores and distributing far and wide, inshallah, with these products.
And the place where you are now and the things that you do right now, what are the difficulties you're facing right now? Could you tell me more about the difficulties you're facing right now with the Latifa Naturals business?
Absolutely, which is part of it, doing formulation and everything in the house. Doing in-house right now is a huge challenge because there's a lot that goes, you have to delegate, like it's a lot right now at home. But when my dream, inshallah, is getting out there, having a facility with all the machinery, formulating everything, and just making sure the products are produced smoothly and as fast as possible, so we can scale faster.
So on the Latifa Naturals, your team exists of you and?
So it's me and my husband. we're the parents of Latifa, so we're the ones doing it together.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
How is it working with each other? Most of the time, it could be a challenge, right?
He will be watching this, and
No, now
Of
you have to
course,
be
I know.
sweet.
So no, absolutely, he's an amazing support because as a mother, there's a lot of small things we're picking on as a formulator, but because he's an entrepreneur, so he understands all this very well, and kind of just looks. And he makes me like, look, kind of sometimes you see yourself looking for excuses here and there, oh, just trying not to do this because you're looking for the perfect moment. Even launching the brand, I was looking for that perfect moment. But him is the biggest support, like we can do it now. So sometimes I absolutely love that.
Yeah, he's like your biggest mirror, but also your supporter.
Oh, bless him. Mashallah, yes.
And keeps you moving forward.
Yep. And all of us.
Yeah. Amazing. I like that you just have the partnership in doing this together.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have gone through lows and highs.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for your time today. I think a lot of people would be inspired by this, by your story.
Yes.
And by just being you are already a lot of inspiration. And then what you do is already like a different level.
Thank you so much.
100%.
Thank you.
And like this is actually what we want to showcase with the Somali Circle, stories like this of hope, of using the worst thing that could happen to you as like
Into purpose.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that shows. And I think a lot of people get inspired by this, by doing the same thing. And obviously we would try to help where we can, with like a lot of Somali entrepreneurs that are watching. Some maybe already have the facilities you need.
Thank you.
So
yes, that's all the part of the Somali Circle that we want to amplify, is bring a circle of entrepreneurs where everyone can help each other.
Absolutely.
The community aspect that you
Absolutely.
already have back home, and me growing up Europe, I'm like, okay, very interesting. I've never heard it from that perspective. Like, that's something that we want to fall back onto.
Absolutely.
The community point is very important. And again, from the Somali Circle, thank you for being here, and thank you for making the time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's honestly an honor to share this and just come to the Somali Circle. So I'm honestly beyond honored.
And just tell how amazing she is. We texted her yesterday,
and she was already available today.
And she was like, yeah, I'm there for the community. I will be there. Where? Okay, there.
And it's my first podcast ever. I've never done a podcast, so thank you.
You're so good at storytelling.
Oh my God.
Trust me, you're natural.
I have felt more emotions in that 1 hour than the past month.
Yeah, natural in that. So you're very good at your story.
Oh my God.
And I think amplifying your story more is needed.
Thank you.
People need to see the achievement you already have, so it's really inspiring.
Thank you so much. Beyond honored.
Yeah. Thank you.
For the listeners and the viewers, go follow Latifa's company, inshallah, Latifa Naturals. Make sure to follow the socials, and support the Somalis.
We will put
link
everything in the
down.
show notes. Yes. And I'm going to just also buy some for, I don't know, whoever has a baby or a child, or even just put on myself. Because
yes, anything that can be applied for a child can be applied for others.
It's the safest route.
Absolutely.
Inshallah. So I'll say I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave a comment, like, and obviously subscribe. And thank you for listening, and see you to the next one, inshallah.